Hello, hi mate. How you doing?
Yeah, good mate. How you doing?
Good, good. Another Wednesday evening.
And it's a warm one here.
Oh, it's El Scorchio, isn't it?
How's it there, mate?
It's not too bad. It's probably about 28 degrees, but then a little bit of heat over here, and we kind of seem to wilt away, don't we?
Oh,
you know?
we moan, don't we?
We
Us
moan.
a lot. We moan when it's cold. We moan when it's hot. We're never happy, are we?
Absolutely, absolutely, guys. Just want to say hello to a few people that are coming on. Hi, Heather, and Ed. And
Hi,
Julia,
Emma.
And Emma.
Hi, James.
Hi, guys. Good to see you tonight. And talking about the heat, we've got a special guest this evening. I know she's from the UK originally, but some of the heat out there in Australia must be phenomenal. I know it's a kind of, people tell me it's a different kind of heat, and I've never been to Oz. Have you been to Australia?
I have, mate. I lived out there for 6 months. I came back with a little bit of an accent, as you know. But yeah,
hang on, do that again, because that was priceless.
I had a bit of an accent, as you know, but it went away.
Yeah, that's almost Rolf Harris, but I don't want to mention his name.
I'd not get me wobble board out either.
Well, I think we're going into dodgy territory, aren't we?
So anyway, mate, I understand this lovely lady, Samantha, our guest, she's from Perth. That's Western Australia. Is that correct?
Yeah. Samantha Duly, no less.
Yes.
So should we get a guest in straight away?
I'm looking forward to this. I hope she's still awake though, mate.
Yeah, that's the other thing, because it's about 1:30 in the morning, I think, out there. Let's bring Samantha in. Ready? Drum roll. Here we go.
Boom, boom, boom. Here we go.
Yes.
Hiya, Samantha.
Hi,
Hi, everyone. Hiya.
How you doing?
Yeah, thanks for coming on, especially this ridiculous time that where you're at the moment. What is the time in Australia where you are?
2:30.
Oh.
2:30 in the morning, everyone. So that's commitment. So
that is.
Yeah, we'll be tucked in our beds by that time of night with our teddies, mate, won't we?
Yeah.
But no, thank you for agreeing to come on. It's a massive.
My pleasure.
It's a real honour for us to agree to come on as well. So I know we spoke to you before agreeing to come on, and we just wanted to get a feel for. My mind's just gone blank. It never goes blank. It's just gone blank. But what we normally do with our guests, we talk about their journey and their story.
Okay.
I know you're a working medium, but you're more than just a medium. You are so well qualified as well, and it's worth mentioning the commitment that you've given to what you do. I mean, do you want to tell us a little bit before we kind of go into your own personal story, some of the qualifications that you've got yourself and how hard you've worked to attain that?
Okay, so last year I actually achieved my diploma, and that took me 8 years and countless trips back to the UK. But before that, I got my CSNU D, which is demonstrating, and my CSNU S, which is obviously public speaking. And I also got my CSNU T, which is the teaching.
Yeah.
So yes, but my mum was a real driver for that. As when she was terminally ill, I said, do you think I could get this qualification by the time I'm 50? And she said, yeah, you go, girl. So it was her that drove me, gave me that drive to do it, because it's not easy. And obviously living the other side of the world, coming backwards and forwards.
Yeah.
I think I got more miles than whoever. I was on a silver tier system, I think, on Emirates.
Okay.
Oh, right.
I mean, because kind of what I'm saying is that the amount of effort and the commitment that goes into that. I mean, your last qualification, I mean, how many essays did you have to do for demonstrating?
Well, altogether, it's 120. Wow. So that is over that time. So you do a certain amount of essays to sit for your CSNU, and then obviously then you've got to do another batch, and then do the demonstrating. But yes, but so many times over to the UK, being assessed and everything like that. Obviously, my family are there, so I used to tie it in. But when I signed up for CSNU T, I was coming over twice a year for 2 years.
Wow.
So
it's a commitment, isn't it? And financially as well, a commitment. But it just shows you how passionate you are to your mediumship.
Very much so.
Yeah.
Always. Lifelong learning. You can't stop learning. Well, we learn every day, don't we?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. The other thing, while we're on that subject, we kind of want to get into where it all started for you as well. What was was it, you know, for you, was it from a child, or was it a certain experience that you realized you was a medium?
It was from childhood. I was the only one had a bedroom downstairs, and everyone else slept upstairs. And I always remember, you know, though I used to have visitors, you know, didn't like the wardrobe. Someone was in the wardrobe. We used to have little tea parties with my little spirit friends. Absolutely avid book reader. You know, put the light out, but I was under there with my torch. Absolutely amazing, you know, imagination. But I just knew stuff. And then I found out that my grandmother, my mum's mum, was also like a medium, and she did the seances in London, you know, privately. And I seem to have got, if I say, the same abilities as her, and we do actually share the same birthday as well. So it's very interesting, all the synchronicities.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Mate, I didn't know if you wanted to ask one of your questions.
Yeah, so
the problem is I do get carried away somehow, and sometimes
you get used to this after a while, Sam. Yeah. I know I do, so that's all right. So, what took you to Australia from the UK? What sort of brought you out there that way?
Well, I always knew I was going to be there. There.
Okay.
So actually, I was seeing a guy who I'd known since I was 12, and he was like my best friend's brother at the time. So we ended up like having a relationship, albeit long distance. And yes, so I moved out here to be with him. Yes.
Excellent.
Yes, that's how I got here.
How is it in Australia, the difference? In the UK, you know, you've been studying here, you've been traveling all over the place, which with your commitment, which we touched on. But what is it like in Australia for our viewers to know? What is the difference that you're finding out there compared to the UK with spiritual, you know, mediumship and everything?
It's getting better. It's sort of wakening up, if I so to speak. So there's only 2 of us here that are like got any qualification, and WA is massive. So there's a few people that got qualifications, you know, over east, there's Sydney and places like that, but there's not many of us. Yeah. So I really sort of wanted to continue with my learning so I can, you know, help the mediumship here, you know, raise the awareness and raise the standards, really. Yeah. You know, so I do sort of like, if I say teach the English way, you know, through my previous teachers and everything like that, and the wonderful Mavis Patilla, you know, just wonderful, and lovely Colin Bates. So they just really do inspire me. And, you know, I do still speak to them. You know, sometimes it's nice to offload to somebody that sometimes you have questions, don't you? And, you know,
absolutely.
And I mean, you can sit and get your questions from the spirit world, but it's always nice to speak to somebody that's been doing it a bit longer than yourself.
And it's one thing I've noticed with lockdown is how many people are starting to come together that are kind of mediumistic, or they're open to this kind of thing, and the support network that's out there for mediums at the moment has been it's been kind of positive, really, which has been fantastic. But it's a strange question to ask you, this one. And I kind of want to talk about the Dragonfly Centre that you run. Is it? But is the energy slightly different in terms of Australia? Because I know places that I've been to in the world, the energy is different or finer. You know, is there a subtle difference to the energy out there than there is? Because obviously there's not as much pollution. I know that sounds a strange question. Do you find it easier to work in Australia or the UK?
It's the same, really. Yeah, it's the same. Yes, I mean, if I go to certain country towns, I know there's a place that I've been going to for about 8-9 years. This is the longest I haven't gone since COVID. And it's, you know, I used to have to go to McDonald's to do emails because there's no Wi-Fi, you know, like standing on your hand up in the air and your leg up, you know, trying to get a signal. So it's, you know, some places are a little bit sleepy still. Yeah. But on the whole, it's just the same. And obviously with the, you know, the Aboriginal land, it's very, very spiritual. So
absolutely, that's kind of
it's just
because you're so close to nature, aren't you? Such a vast country, Australia. I wonder if that had an effect on your working and the openness of the country as well. People talk about going to Australia because it's a better way of life. So kind of, if you feel better physically, I wondered if that had an impact on your mediumship. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I understand that. Yes. I mean, it is. It's when they say no worries or wait a while, they say WA, Western Australia, stands for wait a while. So, yes, I did when I first moved here. I felt like, oh, my God, it's dinosaur land,
Yeah.
I'm like living in Hove and having like a bus at the end of my street like every 6-7 minutes till I moved to a place where there was 2 buses a day.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
My God, but it has built up. But I struggle not being near the ocean. For 41 years of my life, I live right near the sea.
Yeah.
So that's, I have to drive 40 minutes now to get to the sea. But when you do get there, it's just stunning.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Yeah. I've got a question for you, Samantha. Have you gone with groups of people to sort of sacred Aboriginal sites at all?
No, not at all. But when I had my citizenship ceremony, a beautiful Aboriginal elder blessed the meeting, and it was just the best experience. Even my son at the time said, "Wow, Mum, that made my ceremony. It was just wonderful."
Yeah,
absolutely wonderful.
Fantastic.
I'm going to say as well, let people know, because we like to kind of inform with our interviews and introduce mediums to the world. That was kind of the idea of the spiritual talk, just to show that we're not all crazy, so we're not weird. We are normal people.
No.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if
normal as it gets.
Yeah. Yes. Normal.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, it's a big thing, isn't it? People just, assume a certain way. But what I'm really excited about tonight, Sam, is you've said you'd work tonight.
Yes, I will.
So, guys, if you're listening, please like and share, and if you want a message, we'll work with you. Also, we're getting to that time. Also, if you want to ask some questions as well, please ask Sam any questions you'd like to know about her mediumship. The other thing I was going to ask you about is the Dragonfly Centre. How did that come about?
Well, that's really interesting. So, obviously, I wanted to create like a business here. And I went to this beautiful place called Hillary's Boat Harbour, absolutely stunning place. And I was saying,
I'm jealous already. I've just seen it in my mind's eye. I'm jealous already. Just
stunning. So I said to my partner at the time, I said, I really have been thinking about this name for my new centre. Literally got out of the car and I have never seen so many dragonflies in my life above my head. It was it's it was the warm, but Hillary's Boat Harbour is near the sea. Yes, obviously dragonflies do like water, but not, I would say, near the sea. I've never seen so many. I've never forgotten that moment.
Oh, beautiful.
Fantastic.
So I call myself Dragonfly Centre of Life and Spirit. So I say of life because I teach, and of spirit because the spirit communications. And dragonflies really are spirit messengers.
Yeah.
Yes. And my mum, Lover in Spirit, if I say, Mum, I need a sign today, sends me dragonfly.
Oh, so you teach actual mediumship to other groups of people?
Yeah, well, you say teach, you mentor them, because it's in your soul already. So, you sort of mentor them, coach them, and, give them specific exercises to do and to sort of bring, enhance the abilities.
Right.
So, but basically, it's using all of your senses.
Yeah.
I used to say I was predominantly clairvoyant, but now I say, well, actually, the spirit world use all of my senses because they can bring through all different, pieces of information. So I've just learned so much over the years just by building up a relationship with spirit, talking to them, taking time out, saying, well, this is how I'd like to work. And it's just, I just feel just very blessed that, you know, some of the information they give me, so, which has been amazing. So
fantastic.
Well, we got a few questions coming in, I think. Yeah, on that note, while you're talking about connecting with spirit and working with your guides, if, say, I was a novice medium, so to speak, that I wanted to develop my ability, what would you say would be good for me in terms of connecting with my guides? Say, because a lot of people that I know are always asking me about their guides and how to connect, or I've not got a guide. Is there anything you can recommend people, or a practice that you do personally that you find really helpful?
Well, it's first thing, you've got to have stillness of self.
Yeah.
So if you don't really know yourself or gone through the experiences, how then can you help other people? So you've really got to do lots of work on you, you know, meditate. You know, we all have ups and downs in life, but if you haven't dealt with something and then you take that through, it can be, you know, difficult. So stillness of self is the most important thing. I mean, sometimes if I say clients in inverted commas, they'll say, I can't see my guide. Can you see my guide for me? But that's your personal journey.
Absolutely.
You know, again, it's setting up, if I say a meeting, sitting with your guide, you know, don't demand their name straight away. Just sort of just take me to what sort of life you had. I find that really interesting, you know, because your guide has chosen you as well, because they're learning. But sometimes it's really interesting to just sit and just see where they take you. But some people I find now, they want everything like tomorrow.
Yeah.
And it takes time. That's one thing about modern mediumship. Some people will do a course or something and they'll think they're a teacher. It's like the good old days of, you know, sitting. You go, you know, got the old pioneers, haven't you, that sat and sat and sat for weeks on end, same time, you know, same day of the week. And you don't get that so much now. So it's all about being patient and sitting and spending time with yourself and the spirit guides the world.
Yeah, I know the world has changed, you know, and I know people don't have time. We all have busy lives, but even to give 2 hours to sit for spirit every week, you know, in some kind of home circle. I was reading a journal once around what Leslie Flint used to do, and there were so many home circles. Okay, we are going back quite a while, and there wasn't all the distractions that they had back then in the 50s and the 40s and the 30s. There were thousands of home circles, and that's why I believe there's so many decent pioneers out there, because people were sitting and giving up their time, weren't they? And I totally agree about the guides as well. People want to know their guides straight away, but I'm going off on one, aren't I? I think it's this hay fever. It's getting to my head tonight, you know.
The heat, mate.
Yeah, it's the heat wave I'm having here. I'm getting off on my high horse. But, you know, for me, that's really important, that people just need to spend some time just sitting with spirit. And I love that. But
it's being disciplined, isn't it, mate, really?
Yeah, absolutely. And it's
turning the phone off. Turn your phone off.
Oh, gosh. Yeah.
Turn it off as well.
Yes, turn it off.
Yeah. My son's probably listening. He hates me playing chess online. So, yeah. Okay, Adam, you win. Okay, if you're listening, I'll turn my phone off more. So he'll love that, by the way. I'm always playing chess. I'm addicted to online chess. It helps me to relax. Yeah, absolutely. Are we going to see if we got any questions? People coming in with some lovely questions.
Coming in now. Yep.
Yeah.
Hi, Carol. Loved it to see you again.
Yeah. Hi, Carol. Can you see the question? We read it out for you.
Yeah. Do the First Nation people believe in you form of spirit mediumship? First Nation people. What do you mean by First Nation? What, like the Aboriginals? You mean? Or
possibly, or it could be some of the pioneers. Maybe, I'm not sure.
No, I don't know what.
Well, I have to come back to you on that one, Carol.
Can you reword it?
Yeah. I know Zoe's, there was some more coming in. My son. Yeah, there you go. Thanks, Adam. I'll remind you of that. Yes.
Oh, yes, they do. Yes, I do actually have some, I do see quite a lot of Aboriginals as well. And there's one thing you find, not one turns up, 5. And you have that like collective energy. And yeah, I've done some really, really good connections. Just beautiful, beautiful people.
Yeah.
Very much so. Yes.
Very similar to the Native Americans, I guess. They lived on the land,
very
attuned to spirit.
And they've got their own stories to tell, haven't they, as well?
Yes. Oh, absolutely. They're very much with nature and, the elements. Yeah. And that really does help, because in some way that's, as we connect with our senses, you can also connect with the elements as well.
We've got a great question coming for Ed. Oh, no, we've gone for another one. Sorry, there's another one. Sorry, guys.
Kerry.
Hi, Kerry.
Hi, Kerry.
Yeah.
I'm just exploring my spirituality and the spirit world. Karen Barnett is my best friend. I know you worked with her mum a lot. I'm sure I have a question, just not sure what they are yet. Okay.
Okay.
Good to know. And here's one from Ed. How does it feel having your ability assessed in order to attain the demonstration certificate?
That's a great question.
That's a great question. Thanks, Ed.
Very scary. So, but again, you've got to just remove that ego and just think, well, actually, you're just doing this for spirit. I must say, I've been assessed so many times. Last year, it was 2:30 in the morning. And I'd never, ever done Zoom before. And I had to demonstrate. Yes. So, yeah, it's really tough because it's not natural. So if obviously you were on platform or you were doing a personal reading, then there's a real need. When you're being assessed, obviously they do get a congregation or audience for you, but that pressure, oh my goodness, yes, it is. Just like tonight.
Sorry, Samantha, was it a different setup with the assessment then? How did they do that?
Well, last year was on Zoom, obviously because of COVID. Otherwise, I would have flown over. But normally, yes, you go to a board of, it's normally three people that will assess you, ask you questions and everything. And then, then afterwards, if you do a demonstration, and they'll give a sheet to your recipient, and then they will mark off, did you do this? Did you do that? Did you bring through evidence and things like that?
There's some lovely questions coming in. If I see shadows / light in the corner of my eye, is that just from the tears, or could be a loved one?
Absolutely, a loved one. It's like, I call it like little flickers of glitter sometimes, and that actually is spirit energy, very much so. I mean, I know you've all heard of orbs and things like that. Yeah. I've seen some amazing ones in my time. But yes, that little flicker is definitely spirit. And I always say, if I ever see that, I say, thank you for coming. Because they've built that energy up around you or in that room. And I just always say, thanks.
Yeah.
Lovely.
There's quite a few more questions we got here. There's one from Naomi, guys. I don't know if you can see. There we go. How do you feel yourself, Samantha, when spirits start to arrive unexpectedly?
Well, they don't really, actually, because you've got to be disciplined.
Yeah.
So I can actually turn it off. So at the end of the day, I say, right, off duty. So I don't get bothered at night. I don't see spirits walking around the street or anything like that. If I say I have had a few, if I say a couple of visitors at night, but it's normally my mother. If I'm not sleeping or I'm being a right old worrywart, seriously, she will knock on my bed, on my headboard. And all I just say is, sorry, Mum, I'll go sleep now. So it doesn't scare me whatsoever. But no, you have got to turn it off. Again, famous words from the lovely Mavis Patilla, you can't be a leaky tap.
No.
Because you just can't, because you just end up being so tired, then you're no use to anyone, really, yourself or spirit.
There's quite a few. Oh, okay. We kind of touched on this one a little bit at the beginning, didn't we? When was your first? Hi, Zoe, by the way.
Hi, Zoe.
I know we're alive, so people come in and go. So I'm sorry.
So no, that's when I was younger. Used to be really, really aware of spirits. The lovely little tea party. I've still actually got the tea pot from my Tinkerbell tea set. Interesting.
Oh,
So
wow.
that would be, oh my God,
Wow.
50 years old. Yes. So still got that. So got lovely, lovely memories about that.
Awesome. Oh, here we go. Have you ever been to Fremantle Prison? Must have plenty of spirits there. Hi, Peter, by the way. Especially in the hanging room.
I wouldn't actually go there for that reason.
Yeah.
So when I lived in the UK, I was actually part of a paranormal club, and we used to go visiting. And I tell you what, it was going in that club that actually helped me with my fear of the dark. So I've been in the war tunnels in Kent. I've gone to stately homes. I tell you, the best nights we had were at the theatres. Absolutely brilliant nights.
Yeah.
So, and I think I went to Brighton, the Brighton jail. Yes, I remember that. But just wonderful experiences. And that helps every aspect of your mediumship to do that. But no, I definitely not go to Fremantle Prison.
Yeah, not if you can help it. We've got a butter market. There's a place in Norwich. It's used as a coffee shop now. But they literally, the old courtroom is still there. They either used to deport them to Australia or hang them downstairs. It was that bad. I don't like going in there for coffee.
No,
really my thing. But it's so brutal, weren't we? So many years ago. Mind you, I kind of prefer to go to Australia, to be fair. Another great question coming in. Marie Pia? Is that how I pronounce it? I'm sorry if I've got that wrong.
Marie Pia.
Okay. Yeah. Would you mind as your own or from the spirit? Well, obviously, you know, you can't hear spirit like objectively. Sometimes you hear them subjectively, so it's like in your mind. But you've got to be careful who you say. If I hear voices, they'll lock you up. But yes, sometimes you get that inner chatter. But I think it's the evidence that you give will, you know, establish that contact. So you'll know it's not in your own mind.
Yeah.
So yes, there's lots of things you could answer with that. But, you know, the more evidential information you give, then you know it isn't you. Because sometimes, as you know, when you're beginning, the students, they just say, is it me? Is it my imagination? And then by the time their left brain comes in, they're analysing it, and then they've really ripped it apart and it's back to front. So you literally have got to say it. And, you know, no one's perfect. No one's perfect. You just got to say how it is.
No, some great questions coming. People are just, I love it. And things that you kind of take for granted sometimes when you're a medium or forget about. Yeah. There's another, always another one from Jane. Hi, Jane.
Hi, Jane.
You're aware of the spirit around you. How do you use protection? Well, you really, when you're working with spirit, you're actually protected anyway. You know, bring down the light. You know who you are. We are protected by the light. But sometimes it's people, they feed your mind into different things. So say, for instance, I did go, I'll give an example when you say protection. I wouldn't say protection. If I was going to Fremantle Prison, I would maybe possibly put myself around a little bubble just to like stay that off. But really, we don't need to be protected as such because of the work we do. You know, and I've never really picked up on negative energies. You know, sometimes if I get called to go to someone's house, it's, if I say 99% of the time, it's their loved ones that are wanting to communicate. I've never really been anywhere there's been sort of, if I say, bad energy. I remember in the paranormal club, where was that place, that mansion, that big house that everyone left? I can't remember. I know we travelled a long, long way and all the builders left and everything, and it was never built again. And I can't think where that is in England.
Okay. That's in England, is it?
That had a horrible energy. Woodchester, is it Woodchester Mansion? Woodchester Mansion, something like that.
Okay.
Yeah, so that had a bit of a creepy energy, definitely.
Where I grew up, there's this place called Borley Rectory, just outside Sudbury in Suffolk, and it had I mean, it was even the BBC did a program on it. That was something similar. The house burnt down, and there was all sorts of stories there. Yeah, but I could be here all night with ghost stories. Okay, there's another great question coming in.
Hi, Devinder.
How do you know a spirit is with you?
I just get that feeling, you know, or I just sense them. You know that old thing when they say you get you get tingles. If a spirit will stand really close to me, which they have done of late, or I say, "Oh, hello, how are you?" You know, they're in a reading, but you either I get that chill or that heat really. But you just know, because you're in a heightened state of awareness already when you're in the power, and you just feel that presence. Yeah. And it isn't scary whatsoever. You know, you should be more afraid of the living than the dead. Dead can't hurt you.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's another great question from Carol Turner. Has your guide got a name? Now, it's interesting, this one. Because I know some mediums that are working that know their guides but don't know their names.
Yes.
And I've always been told sometimes, and I've heard this in my head, they don't always want to be named. They're just there.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yes, but my guide does have a name. He's called Saul.
Oh,
Saul, as in Saul.
That's
yes. Don't ask me why. And if you said to me, describe him, pardon the pun, he looks like Dumbledore. You know, with the beard and everything like that.
I wouldn't mind a beard like that, but I'll get too itchy. I'd love a beard like that. It's getting grey.
We're getting there slowly, mate.
Yeah, mate. Yeah. But mine's getting greyer before yours, unfortunately.
I'm catching you up.
Yeah, I've got mine. Mine is Seb. But that links to his Egyptian past, and another one, Peter. They keep it very simple, don't they?
Yes, they do. Yes, very much so. But also, people don't realise that as you progress in your mediumship, your guide changes.
Yeah.
So I'm on about my third one. I had two ladies before, but also if I do some healing, I have a different guide for that.
Hi, Rhonda, by the way. Nice to see you, Rhonda. I hope your daughter's doing well, because we haven't seen her. So I'm kind of wondering, has the baby been born? Sorry to kind of go off topic. I was just wondering today about your lovely daughter, whether she'd had a baby yet. So, yeah. Sorry, guys. Get back on it. Okay, Sharon. Hi, Sharon.
Hi, Sharon.
I feel you lost it. Okay, don't get a sign. It's because I want to. Right, okay. So, no, we all have a guardian angel from birth. We all have a guardian angel from birth. But, and obviously we have a different guide for healing, or we have a different guide for mediumship, or whatever aspect of mediumship, you'll have a different guide. But sometimes I find what's going on in the world, people have like closed themselves down a little bit. There's like protection, isn't it? Because it's really what's happened in the world has just been really, no one ever even thought of that, did they? No. But it's just being very, very gentle, being very, very aware, and just spending time and not trying to get too much into your left brain, because your guardian angel will not have left you. It's just subtle ways that they communicate with you. You know, I'm sure some people have had that high pitch in their ear, that high pitched noise. They think, am I getting tinnitus? Am I not? Sometimes that is actually, you know, your guide talking to you, or, you know, you start to feel their presence. So just be a little bit patient, Sharon, and just sit and don't have any expectations, and just say, come and sit next to me. And then just see how you feel then.
Yeah.
Good.
Great. Hi, Mark. Good to see you.
Yeah,
Mark, I've got a good question.
Yeah,
when are you given a demonstration? When you're given a demonstration, do spirits wait in line for their turn? Are they polite in waiting for their turn?
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah, sometimes they do, you know, they do line up, as they say. But yeah, I would say sometimes you get the bossy one. Say, oh no, it's my turn first. But you'll find whatever your loved one was like on the earth, they will be exactly in heaven. So if they were bossy on the earth, they'll be first in the queue. So yes. So, but I'm not really aware of spirits until I actually start. It's very rare that I'll see someone like before a demonstration. Very rare. but it has happened on occasions, very much so.
Yeah. Oh, there's some great
questions coming in.
Yeah. Why do guides change?
Because as you grow, they grow. So
Yeah.
you learn from each other.
Yeah.
So sometimes that can be very unnerving. I always remember when my guide changed, I was just like, oh God, where is she? Where is she? And then I thought, no, there's obviously a reason for this. So like your little contracts ended. So then you get the another one. I've had the same one here now for, oh gosh, must be 12 years. But I know that there's then there's another one that's coming in to do with more philosophy. So, you know, I'm getting another one coming in for that.
Yeah. Awesome. We got my guide. There's one coming from Naomi as well. Hi, Naomi.
Oh, that's nice. Yes. So yes. So if certain things in your life changing, so that's why when you say completely off guard, it's like you may be growing, as like what we said before. Lots of people are changing with this current the world the way it is, and they're opening up to this spirituality. And it's really made people have lots of time to think, hasn't it? Where they're going in life and everything like that.
Absolutely.
Just get used to the new energies coming in, and that will really help. And it's, again, we said at the beginning, wasn't it? It's all about being patient. You know, you don't want to go 100 miles an hour. Just enjoy the experience, and it will get stronger over time.
Oh, it's one of the first things I should do is have a reading. Hi, Kerry. I think Kerry's a bit on Kerry again.
Well, it depends if you want to like have, I would say, like a spiritual assessment, or we'll just see, someone can see if your colours are good to do that. So because you have certain colours within you that will really enhance your abilities as well. And that's really, really interesting, something I've also learned. But sometimes it depends. When you say have a reading, it depends. I do feel you are suffering from grief. So sometimes you get that clarity from connecting with your loved ones. But it wouldn't be a reading as such. If you want to start developing, it would be actually seeing a teacher, meeting up with a teacher. But I always say to people, always go and see mediums work and see which one resonates with you, because then you'll then have your lead as to who you should really contact. But I'm the sort of teacher that I just say it's really good for you to go and learn from lots of people, and then you make up your own mind, because we all have different styles, but we all can't have all the same experiences, the same knowledge. So it's always good you get a bit from this one, a bit from that one, but don't try and mold yourself to be like that person. But that's really, really good, is to sort things out and talk about your grief as well, I feel.
Coming in thick and fast now.
Hi, Sarah.
Yeah, hi, Sarah. Is it normal to show emotions while meditation? I saw over 5 spirits while meditating or meditation. How I can control emotions when spirits come through.
When you say emotions, as in what, like immense joy or tears, or because sometimes if it's tears, sometimes it's the love they bring. The love is so intense.
Okay. Because the other thing I was going to say on as a caveat off of that, really, how do you deal with difficult as a medium? How do you deal with difficult circumstances? So, for example, somebody who steps in that's committed, taking their life in tragic circumstances, and their emotion comes through as well in terms of, and the responsibility there. How do you deal with that as a medium? Because I know for me personally, you really have to pull yourself together.
Yes. Oh God, yes. It is. It's really hard. You have to feel that emotion and then rise. Yeah. Really, that's really, really tough. It is a tough one. I myself have, if I brought through a mum, soon after my mum passed, I had to deep breath. And but some of the evidence, I always remember, I must just quickly share this. So I read for this lady, and she was an English lady as well, and she'd lost her mum as well. And her mum came through and said, I'm in the bluebells like your mum. So in the bluebells, so my mum's got this lovely picture of the bluebells, and we actually even put this picture in her coffin. She loved it so much. And my mum's code word for me was bluebell. She only told me, she says, when you hear this, you'll know I've arrived in heaven safe. So going back to this reading, this lady said to me, I'm in the bluebells like your mum. And I just said, I don't know what this means, but I'm just replying what your mum says. I'm in the bluebells. And she says she's in the bluebells like my mum. And she said, my mum's urn is a cardboard box and it's got bluebells all over it. So then how did the spirit world connect that bluebells was to do with my mum as well? And I mean, that is just blows me away.
Yeah, the intelligence of spirit.
Yeah. The intelligence of spirit world.
Yeah.
So just the best. So do spirits ever show what they look like at the end of the life? Yes, I do see that. I get shown maybe what happened. Sometimes it can be a little bit graphic, but it's not as graphic now. But I just say, oh, yes, your loved one shows me what they look like, but they don't want you to remember them like that. Remember them in the picture of blah, blah, blah. Or, I mean, I always say you can be in heaven whatever age you want. So, yes, they may come forward what they look like. But to me, I've had a married couple recently come through and said, please tell my family we're like our wedding photo. We've chosen to be like we were in our wedding photo, which I think is just beautiful. Beautiful. Yeah. Remember us that way, but never remember your loved one at the end of their life, because they're not like that now.
Absolutely. That's certainly something I resonate with, and sometimes that I've found they don't even want to talk about it. The only time really is evidence, if it's on evidence based.
It's evidence, yes, because really their illness is a short part of their life. Yeah. Why would they want to spend a reading talking about what happened to them when there's all those memories that are there shared?
Yeah, it's difficult, isn't it? We've done, I mean, guys, it's been brilliant with the messages tonight. We're getting near that point where, there's another one coming in.
Loads are coming in.
Yeah, I mean, I could sit and talk to you all night, Samantha.
They're loving you, Samantha.
Yeah, it's true. Someone's just put, Nikki Spooner's just put, I thought they looked healthy when they're over the other side.
Well, they still show you what they would have passed with. Do you know what I mean? Because again, that's evidence, but it's very quick. And that's when they say, I'm not like I was before. It is. It's just only fleetingly. And then then I can describe them.
Hi, Leanne.
Hi, Leanne.
So she's an Essex girl, by the way. A fellow Essex girl.
No, another one.
She's round the corner from you.
All right.
So what's this? I've never felt the need to know who am I, and if I question, I don't feel it's disrespectful not to know when I do my healing. I don't know what that means. I never felt the need.
So I think is it disrespectful that she hasn't taken the time to make the relationship with her guides, or is it better?
Healing's different. Yeah, healing's different energy. When I say you get to know the spirit world as a medium, but then the healing is completely different, because that's passive energy anyway. Yeah. So the healing guides will come through you. But, the mediumship guide, that's when they work with you really, really intensely. So it's really good to know and have a relationship with them. Very much so.
Yeah, absolutely.
But again, yes, you open your heart and let it flow, because that's what it is. Healing is universal love. It's from spirit to spirit, through spirit to spirit.
There's a great quote. Thank you, Leanne. There's a great question from Joe Webster. Hi, Joe.
Hiya, Joe.
Would they show themselves differently to different friends or family?
Well, can do. Yes, it depends on your actual relationship or your memories of them. Someone can come, if you did, say, fishing with your granddad, but you didn't do fishing with, someone else, they may come through like that with the fishing rod and everything, because that would be your personal connection. So, yes, it can be very, very different. Very much so. Depending on your actual
awesome. Great question. So we're going to ask everyone to share. I shouldn't use the word hell, should I, in this spiritual program? I was going to say share the hell out of this, please, guys.
Share the heaven out of it.
Yeah, share the heavenly aspect out of this, guys. We'd love that. Okay, just to kind of get this out there to people.
And share it on your stories, everyone, as well.
I also want to say this is quite special having Samantha on as well. Okay, I've told her she is one of the best mediums. I'm not bigging you up. I'm not.
No pressure.
But you come with a massive reputation. My friend Helen has seen you, and she says you are awesome. So I can't wait to see your work. I've got to be quiet really because I've got to do some as well at some point, and I feel like I'm being watched by the teacher.
Yeah,
to be on good form tonight, Anthony.
Oh, right? Yeah. Fingers crossed.
Yeah. So, guys, if you would like a message, please share away. I've shared. Great. Thank you, Nikki and Zoe. Thanks, guys, and Mary.
Thanks, Mary.
Just keep sharing. Okay. So, what we're going to do? We're going to pin the StreamYard link into the comments. Okay. We would also ask you only to come in if you feel this link is for you. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, we are obviously the medium's going to connect and try to get the contact, whether it's Sam, myself, or Anthony. If you don't want to come on because you've got your curlers in and you're having a cigarette, that's absolutely fine. Okay, but brilliant. Some more comments coming on. That'd be great. So, who wants to go first? Should we say Anthony, ladies first?
Yeah, do it, mate.
Yeah.
That's not, mate. Well, you two Arsenal fans as well, so I kind of feel outnumbered here tonight.
Oh, you're my best mate, Sam. Really, aren't you? To be fair.
Yes.
Is that all it takes? Is that all it takes?
Is that all it takes nowadays?
Solidarity in numbers, all that.
Here we go then.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to this now.
Yeah, me too. Me too. So no pressure. Bless you. Rhonda said no pressure, Sam. No pressure.
Oh, right. Yes, no pressure. So I'm ladies first, is it? Am I starting first?
That's not very nice of us. That's not very gentlemanly of us, is it? But
no, that's fine. That's fine. Okay. So I'm very aware of a mum here, beautiful mum. And I know here her family was absolutely everything to her. I know here you would have had memories of her lovely skin and especially like her cheekbones. I know here that this beautiful mum, she's making me aware of her stomach area. So I feel here that she would have really, really struggled with her stomach area. I know here that my daughter is listening, and she really did everything for me, especially at the end, and she sat with me. I'm also seeing her. She would have painted her mum's nails as well, because she's showing me her nails. They're very sort of like a pale colour. So I know here that my daughter did so much for me, and I'm immensely grateful. I do feel that if I look at this lady, I want to say maybe in her 70s. She could be a little bit older, but because her skin really does show that she did look after herself. So I'm very, very aware of this beautiful lady.
Okay, Emma Barker thinks that could be my mum.
Okay, so can I hear her voice, or am I going to?
Yeah. So Emma, if you understand this information, that's great. Yes or no, or maybe if you'd like to jump in on the link, Emma, that would be fantastic.
Come in the studio, Emma, if you wish.
Yeah, that would be brilliant. And Anthony's going to play the spoons while we wait. Okay, my mum was 59, died with cold. That was Emma.
No, I do feel that, no, this is an older lady. This is an older lady. So I'm not going to make 70s into 59.
Oh, it's not old. It's COPD.
Oh, COPD.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, COPD. Well, I'm not really. As I look at her, I felt she was in her 70s. So let me just see. Let me just get a little bit more, because I do know sometimes health does make you look a bit older, but I'm not. That's a big change. So let me just see. I do feel here there would be the name of Barbara as a connection, not necessarily her name. So I feel here as well, bless her heart, that there's definitely this Barbara connection, and there's also Mary. There would have been a connection to Mary as well. And I do definitely see just her cheeks, so just her skin and her hair. She would have really made a lot of effort with her hair, but it's definitely around this stomach area. And I do know that this stomach area was very complicated, very complex. And love her. She's got the most beautiful smile. And I just feel my family was just everything to me, everything. And I'm very proud in particular of my granddaughter, because she's really has gone through so much and in her life, and she's really done very well.
See, I could take most of that. I can take the names.
Yes.
The only thing is, I think she was in her late 50s. I'm not sure if Mother's on here, whether she's actually listening, but her name is Barbara.
Okay.
And I know I think she had a sister Mary.
Right. Okay.
But there is other people taking it. I don't want to nick somebody else's name.
Well, that's quite significant with the names as well. And obviously, as we know, it's very different online as well. But let's just see. So this would be your grandma.
It was my lovely Nan, yeah.
Right, Mum's mum.
And I can take the information about the granddaughter.
Granddaughter.
Yeah, the granddaughter is it's really specific to something that's happened recently.
Right. Okay. All right. So let me just see. I'll just carry on a little bit. As I say, it's a bit harder when you're online. I know here then, so this lady, she was very,
hang on. I'm going to stop. My mother's just actually jumped on. She said no sister. But Mother, wasn't there a Mary in the family? Because I'm sure you'd mentioned there was a Mary. Kerry has said no, not mine, Mama.
Yeah,
but I'm sure there was a Mary in the family.
Mary in the family, yes? No?
Yeah, I see how that. She's so slow typing.
Yes, that's okay. That's okay.
Yeah, she'll kill me if I mention her age. So texting isn't her forte.
Right. Okay. Well, let me
get. Oh, next door. Mary was next door, of course.
Mary was next door. Right. Okay.
Friends, yeah.
So this was your mum's mum. We established it was your mum's mum.
Yeah.
Yes, I got mum's mum here.
Yeah.
And also, do you remember here? There must be a particular vase that she really makes me aware of, and I feel then that your mum would still have this vase of hers, because she's very particular about the flowers that she has in it. No fuss, she says, you know, even lovely daffodils. She absolutely loved daffodils.
Okay, again, she's slow. Also, Sharon Bain can take this. I can take most of that. My Nan with high cheekbones and was beautiful. She died 82.
Right, okay. But can you also take the names Sharon, Barbara and Mary connected as well?
The names are important.
Yes.
Oh, glass. Mother's come back and said glass.
Glass. She's got that. Yeah, the bar in glass. Yeah, yes.
Glass.
Okay. Yeah. Yes. Okay. I do feel then, because particularly, is that your mum is Barbara? Is she?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, right. Okay. So, can she say that she always remembers then her mum? It was just the beautiful daffodils I'm seeing in there.
Yeah. Okay. Again, can you remember the daffodils? My mother was 52, so that's quite young. But then,
yeah, no. Let's just see. So, so with her health, would it be right to say it's this stomach area with your mum or your nan? You remember? So
I don't, because she died before I was born.
Right. Okay. Because yes, so it's very difficult now. You're saying she's 52, because to me she looks like she's in the 70s.
Forgive me for saying that, Mum. You're going to kill me for saying this, but she did look older, and she did die a long time ago. People looked older, didn't they, back then?
Yes.
I'm not trying to make it fit. Pictures that I've got, my nan looks like, yes, it was cancer. Okay,
right. Okay. Yes. Yeah. Okay, you understand that, and you've just got the beautiful skin. She's even now. Oh my goodness, I haven't seen that for years. Pond's cold cream. So you know, really, yeah. Bless her heart. And she said, that's what did it, she said. But she also, as I say, with the granddaughter, she is clapping her hands and she's saying, yes, about time too. Do you know what I mean? Very much so. I don't know whether the granddaughter is actually going to be standing up in front of people, because she says she's going to be giving her all the confidence, because it's going to really put her out of her comfort zone.
That makes sense.
So I feel here that I'm also seeing a certificate for this granddaughter as well. Seeing a certificate. It's like this accolation at long last. Yeah,
I can take that.
You can. Okay.
Yeah. In terms of her work.
Yeah, because that's how I feel. Because I can just see her standing up and presenting as well. Very much.
She's done that. Yeah, she's done that.
Yes.
Before,
yeah, and that's what she's shown me. And she's saying she's given her that bit of confidence. She also is laughing about. I don't know whether it's you or your mum that you don't have like green fingers, and she's laughing. Do you know green plants?
Yeah. So we're sorting her garden out at the moment. I'm trying to.
Yes, because she smiles about that, and she was just like like that. So she's showing me killing the plants here.
Yeah, that'll be me.
But there's definitely something to do with this piece of furniture. She shows me this piece of furniture. You know, when you've got like a stall or something and it's got like 4 legs. Well, she's shown it me on 3. So I don't know whether it's near a piece of furniture and it's not sitting right, but I feel there's something to do with a piece that's not right. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah. She's mother's now come back and said, but her daughter has green fingers. Okay, fair enough, mother.
Yeah, okay. So you understand here, you know, when you've got like a coffee table or a stall or something, she's showing me that she's been around and one of the foot's been up in the air. So that might be something interesting for you to find out.
Yeah, that's more to do with mother. Yeah.
Right. Okay. You understand that. Very much so. But I know here she's also talking about there's somebody that's says that they can't take milk products or they're allergic to milk or they shouldn't be drinking milk.
Yeah, that's probably me.
Okay, because I just said to her, give me something else. But I know here that there's been this picture on the fridge, and I know this picture has actually fallen off the fridge and you've picked it up off the floor.
Okay.
Well, she hasn't, because she's just showing me this, because she's showing me this on the fridge and then she's showing me it's under and then she's just putting it up. But this is where she's just giving you signs that she's around.
Okay.
Very much so. Very simple lady, loved her family immensely, absolutely loved birds. She's holding a bird, and I know birds were everything. So she even says that I don't know whether this garden you've got like what do you call it, bird bath. Their bird bath.
Yeah, mother has got a bird bath.
Yes. Yeah. She's saying about being the little robin that comes and visits. The little robin that comes and visits.
Little robin. Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
Mother's never going to agree to come on here. She's probably got her curlers in.
Yes, it would really help, but never mind.
Yeah, I will.
You've worked it out between you both.
Yeah.
You've worked it out between you both. Good. Okay. Bless her. But she sends her love to her daughter and her family and her granddaughter, and says she's never far away. But there's definitely, she wants to talk about this picture that's fallen on the floor. So maybe your mum might understand that more. Because I
have pictures on my fridge that fall on the floor.
You do, right. Okay.
Button it.
Yeah, she's now.
Okay.
Yeah, she might be 82, but she's got her rolling pin out for when I get there next time.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, how funny.
Hit me with a rolling pin when I get there next time.
Okay. So please take a love for both of you, because I do feel that's important. And just one more thing, she wants to go. I don't know whether it's your mum or she has memories of her mum, and I feel like I'm pressing flowers. I feel like I want to open a book and there's some pressed flowers in there.
I'm sure my mum has done that.
Yes, because I'm just seeing that.
I'm sure she has done that.
She also wants to talk about the middle name of Anne as well. Is there a Barbara Anne?
No, that'll be her granddaughter.
Oh, her granddaughter's Anne.
That's her middle name.
Yes, it's a middle name, because she just said about middle name of Anne, but I wasn't sure if it was Barbara as well. So, yes. And just before she goes, she says Bill's here. Bill's with her.
That'll be my dad's dad.
Yes, there you go.
Thank you.
Bill's here. very much so. Having a cup of tea with Bill, but she says he has his tea very strong, like builder's tea. Definitely, very much so. So anyway, take their love.
I will. Thank you ever so much. It's so difficult when you sat in the room and we're trying not to, that's really important, that, especially around the granddaughter. That's lovely.
Okay.
Thank you for that. I will pass that message on.
Thank you.
Yeah. So awesome. I will let you into a little secret now, just as a little bit of feedback. My mum said to me once, and I'm sorry to embarrass you, Mum, but that's the joys of having a son who's a medium. One day she said to me, oh, I never see anybody. And one day she woke up, there was somebody standing in her front room because she'd gone downstairs to make a cup of tea because she had to be up early. And she sort of dozed off and woke up. And this lady was standing in her front room and she believed to be her mum.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah,
that's good. That's good.
Yeah. Yeah. So thank you, Sam, for that.
Yeah, thanks, Sam. Okay. Well done.
That's awesome. Did you want to go back, or do you want to do another one, Sam?
Well, I might as well do another one while we're building the energy up. Okay, so let me just see. I'm very aware of a gentleman now, and he wants to say cheers. So I know here, this gentleman here would have absolutely loved a tipple or two or three. He was quite the character. And I know here that he loved life and he loved people. He said, I could have been a little bit grumpy at times, but I absolutely loved life, loved people, loved talking. Oh my goodness, he could talk the hind legs off a donkey. And I know here that he was very, very particular about what he wore. And I do feel here he was like part of, if I say a club, like say for instance, the British Legion, something like that. It reminds you of that sort of club. It could be another club, but I know here that he's quite proud about this. So I know he was known all around the town, and you know, it's sometimes people would expect him to be sitting still at the bar, you know, because I feel here that I had my stall there as well, but he really did frequent a few places. So I know here I've got a dad. He loved to have a drink or two or three. He's smiling from ear to ear. He says his wife is still here, and he's very smart. When I say he's got like what do you call them? I'm going to say AirTechs. They're not, like polo shirts. That's it.
Yeah.
AirTechs when we went to school, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Polo shirt here, and he's very smart. But he just says it was all down to my wife. You know, she always ironed everything, and everything was perfect. So can anyone understand this gentleman?
Carol Turner said it might be my brother was very friendly, possibly. Well, my brother's wife's still here.
Right. Okay. So let's just see. I feel that there's a name of R.O. I don't know whether that's Rob or Rod or Roy or something like that. Would that make sense?
Yeah, if you understand, please, Carol, we'd love to see you on StreamYard. Come on in and join us if you can. Hopefully you've not got your curlers in. I'm sure you look beautiful anyway, even with your curlers in.
She always does, Carol, anyway.
My son's called Rob. Boom. There you go. Awesome connection.
Okay. So is she going to come in, or
please, Carol. Can we... I don't know why some people are struggling to see the link. I know the link is so you can join the guys online. Yeah, it'd be lovely if you can, Carol. If what we normally do, if someone doesn't want to come in, we just kind of spend a few minutes and finish the link off if they don't want to come in. Right. I can come in. I can come in at the min, or not at the minute. I can't.
In admin.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, I'll just carry on then. So her son's Rob. She understands this, but will she say it was dad? Was dad or dad's brother? Did she say?
I think she said it was my brother potentially.
Okay. Well, I did say dad, didn't I? So I'm not going to change dad to brother. But that's interesting that she's got the Rob. Okay. So because I feel if I look at this gentleman here. Again, I would say he's approximately in his 70s. I know here this gentleman, he wasn't very grey, if I call that. I feel like he really did sort of keep his colour of his hair. because I know here that he really did look after himself. But I know I did sort of kind of drink a little bit too much, and I know I smoked in my day. So my body did sort of like fail me, he says to me here. So, but I know here that I was a hard worker. I was a hard worker in my day. And I know here I have a few children and my lovely wife. Tell me a name. Who's Pat? Pat. I don't know whether Pat is a connection as well. So did we lose the other lady? Or have we got?
No, I think she's still listening.
Okay.
Yeah, can you confirm if this makes sense to you, Carol? So difficult when it's slow. I'm not sure whether
she's coming in to the video.
No, she can't at the moment, she just said, but she thinks it's like her brother. Okay. It could be my dad, my sister called Pat.
Oh, well, yes. Yeah, so yes.
We are.
Okay. So, but she said that she did. So she thinks it could be her dad. Yes. And her sister's called Pat. So I definitely feel Pat and the Rob, everything. Okay.
Yeah. Awesome.
So, so I just still definitely get this like club, whether it be like, the a drinking club or bowling or something. There's definitely something to do with the club here. So I know here that, he is with another gentleman. There's also Peter. He just said, yes, there's Peter here as well. But I feel here that there would also have been like a bit of a tragedy as well. He's saying to me, somebody passed before their time, very young as well. So I feel there would have been like a accident, or because I'm getting this impact on my chest. There's another man. Oh, she said he went to a club.
Yeah,
right.
Perfect.
Right. So I'm definitely with her. But would she also know the younger man also that would have either passed with an impact, or there's something to do with his chest? Because I feel here it was a sudden pass. Oh, look, my brother Peter. There you go.
Well done.
So, yes.
Brilliant.
So I know here that they're oh goodness me, the banter between them, they're just having me in stitches really. I'm just like it's round one, round two, so there would have been this banter, and I'm getting here in my ear that Monty Python, always look at the bright side of life. They're just like this, they're just sort of saying we're like a bit of a comedy duo. So I feel here that when they were on the earth, if he had a couple of drinks, he would have been like really funny. But then he did sometimes go over a little bit too much, he says. I sometimes, did push the barriers. But then he said, but my smile got me out of trouble. So quite the character, that's for sure. He also makes me aware that there's someone here that either has his tools, or I'm seeing here a screwdriver or like a spanner. But he says, they don't know how to use it. Yes, and he's really funny about this. And she's saying, yes, they were very funny. Yes, that's true. Okay, so you understand that. But he says, all them tools, they might as well be rusty. They're not used much. So he's really, really making me laugh. Really, he is. And he's the sort of guy that, would look at a whoopee cushion on the chair and things like that. Love the old banter, the old slapstick comedy. He also wants to talk about there's someone on the earth here that there's either they're putting off having a cataract done, but he's saying to me, be brave, you've got to be brave. So somebody must be worried about going to see about an eye. And I even feel as I'm touching my left eye, whether I'm mirroring somebody, but said that that's important. And she said, yes, is that right? So
yes, she has, yeah.
Yes, so
play tricks on everyone.
Yes, there you go. Play tricks on everyone. So, but he says if everyone's miserable, he's going to do that. He's going to do that to just come on now. And he's just a tinker, he says. But he says you can call me something else. Someone else did. So he says you're being very polite. But he loved life. He loved life. That's what he says. Oh, look, and she says, I'm putting off going for an eye test. Okay. Because it's funny, he just keeps going round the rim of it. So, I'm not predicting, but he just said to me, someone's putting off going. So, yes. So, don't turn up and think, am I going to have a cataract? But he just said there must be something not quite right about the eye. It's very dry. So that's what he's showing me here, very much so. And just before he goes, he said there's also another Rob. Can he say the nickname he called me? Oh God, don't put me under pressure.
No, I think she said I can't say the nick. Oh, can you?
Yes.
Can't you? I'm not sure.
Yes. Yes.
Well, that's pressure, isn't it?
Yeah, it is pressure.
Because you're not really supposed to kind of go asking, are you?
Yeah, no, sometimes it works. But he just said there's another Rob or Robert, or there's a Robert Jr. There's definitely something. Let's just see. I'm hearing here, I don't know whether it's P or B. Would that be the initial of the name he called her? Because she said there's another Robert. I'm hearing here, I don't know, it's P or B. See if that's, I'm asking him to tell me. But before, while she's thinking of that, who's Sally? Sally. He said there's Sal as well, Sally. But I do know in England sometimes Sally is Sarah, believe it or not, a bit like Johnny's Jack, hey?
Yeah.
So yes, making me aware of that. Okay, my darling. What's that? Nope, his nickname for here was really bad.
Oh dear. Not sure we can air it on here then.
No, okay,
Yeah.
all right. So please take his love, and he wants to say cheers and happy birthday.
Rob.
Oh, Rob's wife.
Rob's wife. Okay. Cool.
Yes. Okay.
Sarah. Yeah. Perfect.
Yeah. There you
my
go.
God.
There you go. Take his love.
That was awesome. That was awesome. Did you want to do one more, or shall we have a go, or what do you want to do, Sam?
Thanks. All right. While I'm on the roll, and it's 20 to 4 in the morning.
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
Gosh. Okay, right. Let's just see. Let's just do one more here. Okay. Very, very aware of a gentleman here. He tells me he loves bikes. And I feel here that he passed very suddenly. But he says the bike was my life. He absolutely loved, he said, I love the wind on my face here. So I know here that he's not an old gentleman. I would like to say maybe 20s, could be 30s as I look at him. He said, I'm still good looking, like this. He goes like this. So he was very handsome man. He tells me about his funeral, and there's certain songs there that just absolutely still bring a tear to someone's eye now. He also shows me here on the top of his coffin here, there would have been like his helmet. And I know here that somebody still has the gloves, and I feel there's something to do with scarf as well. So I have a gentleman here. I do actually feel he did pass on the bike, because he also wants to say he's got a bike in heaven. And I feel here, he says, actually, I had quite a few near scrapes as well.
Zoe's, yeah, it could be. Sounds like boyfriend's brother.
Right. Well, let's just see. So you understand really the information of the helmet on the coffin, and someone's still got the gloves. That's very important, he says to me. And let's just see. And I feel there's a ST connection. I don't know whether that's Steve or Stuart. And I know that could also be surname as well. There's definitely this connection. He's like I say, he's very handsome. He says, oh, you call me James Dean lookalike, but he's just pulling my leg, I feel. But you understand he diced with death a few times. Any more information?
No, not come back yet. It's a bit slow. It could be the link as well. Sorry, guys.
Right. Okay. So let's just see if I can a little bit more here. I know here, surprisingly, where he passed, he showed me like a straight road. So I feel here I was unlucky, but I feel that I swerved. That's what he's making me feel here. He just makes me aware that, oh, okay, right, this is interesting. He just said that he was in a little bit of a mood and he wasn't thinking straight. So I feel what she says, oh, he passed away last year on a bike. So would she know if I say in a little bit of a mood? He said, I had a lot on my mind. I wasn't concentrating. It's slow, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm not sure if it's a link though.
Right, because she just said he passed away last year on a bike.
Yeah, it could be slow. So if you can take this, and if you want to come into the StreamYard, please do. It's quite particular. It's quite specific as well. It sounds like it could be.
Okay. It's quite slow. Okay, but does she understand the name? There's a Steve connection as well. I really do feel that.
Can we put the link up, guys, on there? I can't see the link myself on messages. It might help. I don't know, because I can't see it from my end. I'm hoping that you guys can see it from Facebook end. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
If you'd like to jump in, Zoe, that'd be great, because it's quite specific information.
Yeah, because it will help also to hear your voice as well.
I do know, because I know
She can't take Steve. Okay, it's not his name, but it could be connection or the surname of Stevens, something like that. That's what I felt here. But does she understand that he went off? Like, I don't know whether there was a little bit of a row, a little bit of a disagreement, but I feel I wasn't in my right mind.
I think Zoe is local to me, and I do remember a gentleman passing to spirit having an accident on his bike. He was hit by a van or a car, and he was out on his bike.
Yes. He's out and he's showing me here being swerving. Yeah.
See, okay. I don't know him. A friend of mine went to the funeral, but I didn't know him. And so it sounds like Zoe knows him probably better than what I do.
Well, it's like would you say it's her partner's brother, was it? Or something like that?
Yeah, she said it was her boyfriend's friend.
Right. Okay. So, yes, it's very difficult when I can't hear her voice as well. So there's no one else that can take this information.
Can't get in, Zoe's saying. That's the only other thing with StreamYard. It could be if you don't have Google Chrome or Firefox, it doesn't support it very well from an Android phone.
Right.
So,
okay. Let me just give a few more things, and then she can say yes or no. I do feel that there was a ride in his memory, because he said to me that he went to that as well. You understand that?
I know that, by the way, because I remember.
You know that.
Yeah, right. There was a guy that did a ride for him.
Yes. Yeah, boyfriend was hit by a car. Yes, because that's how I feel. So, and I know here that was ride done in the memory, and there's also the name of Andy as well. Is making me aware of the name of Andy. Just such a lovely lad, taken before his time. Very, very popular. But I just feel. She's saying, yep. So I really just feel, though, I wasn't quite in my right mind, or I wasn't concentrating. I know I had a lot on my mind here. I know here that he would have been very, very sporty as well. And because I'm just seeing his physique here, he really did used to look after himself. And I know here at one point he could have either done professional football, or there's something there. So again, that may be for her to find out as well. Yeah. I just feel there would have been this sport connection, and he could have gone various ways in his life. But he's definitely making me aware of the songs on the radio, and I know here that they've actually come up just in the last couple of days, he says to me. Very much so. I do feel that's really, really important. And for some reason, I don't know, he just wants to talk about a young girl. And do you remember, when you blow dandelions and then you just get that wonder? He wants to talk about a young girl as if like, blowing the dandelions for some reason, whatever that may mean, maybe symbolic. But it's very hard not to have some more confirmation. So I will sort of have to let him go now so you guys can come in. I know here he says I'm talked about a lot, and I'm also seeing here a plaque here with writing on it. Seeing a plaque here. So somebody is with this bike or this ride. I do feel there then will be another one as well.
Yeah. Okay. Lovely. Thank you, Sam.
Yes, it's hard.
That was awesome. It really is, because we've only just really introduced the StreamYard links, Anthony. Sometimes it works perfectly.
Yes, he has been playing the few. Right, he had a funeral. Right, okay.
Yeah, lovely. Thank you, Zoe. Please send his love on to people that know him. So, because we've almost run out of time, Anthony and I are going to do one of our great double links, aren't we, mate?
Yeah.
We did do one once where it didn't. We sort of had a problem, didn't we? We had an accident come through, and no one could take it.
Yeah.
So we had to kind of leave by the stage door exit, didn't we? We couldn't land it.
Yeah. Had the old hook, you know.
Yes. By the way, your light's going. Do you need to put your light on? I'm only joking because you do realise we can see your shorts. Gotcha.
Your turn, mate.
1-0 for me. My light's on. Okay, so I'm going to start with this lovely gentleman that I've got coming in and connecting with me, and he's great personality. I know this gentleman would have been very much a family man, and I do feel that his responsibility towards his family was dear to him. I know that there's grandchildren. I know there's a grandson as well. And I do know also, because he makes me aware of it, that he would have liked a lot of sugar. Also, he's given me this sweet tooth that he would have had as well. But I do know, and I don't want to be cliche about this gentleman had teeth missing. I want to say there was times whether he had false teeth, but I don't think it was a complete set of false teeth, because I see, what do they call them? Like a bar of teeth, they put them up, and I feel like sometimes he didn't have them in to kind of scare the children or to play games of them. And I kind of feel there was something to do with an apple, like biting an apple with this. Anyway, I won't go into that too much, but it makes me really laugh with that. And there's this thing about golden syrup. So I know this gentleman. Okay, thank you. I also feel it's just given me 72 as a link. I'm not sure whether that's an age or a door number, but how I feel into this, I feel it's more the age. My dad had false teeth and had a sweet tooth. Okay, would you understand the name Michael that links into this, Joe? I do feel with this gentleman he would have sisters, and I do feel at least one sister, and I do feel at least one sister was in spirit at this moment in time. Again, and I feel very, very concerned about the grandson here, and I do feel I know this gentleman's got a large family as well. Can you feel him, Anthony, as well? Can you connect with him?
Yeah. So I feel the same, Paul, about the teeth.
Rhonda, chase me up the road with his false teeth. Okay, there's different names coming in here as well. Thank you, Rhonda. Okay. I've also got a Stephen that links in here as well. No Michaels, but had two sisters. Okay, then I can't take that because both in spirit. I do feel there's a Stephen here, and I feel there's a Michael as well that connects to him. I can take all of that. Okay, thank you, Leanne. That's brilliant. Okay, but the sense of humor really sticks out for me. There's so much joy, so much happiness coming from this gentleman. Over to you, mate, or else I'm going to take the whole thing.
Yeah, no worries. I still feel with this gentleman with the teeth as well, and also I do feel drawn towards a cake as well. So I'm also getting a lady that's coming in with this gentleman now as well, but something to do with baking this cake, because he's showing me she showed me a cake as well. But I also feel that he may have taken a slice or a bite out of this cake when she wasn't looking as well, because it's like I want to have a laugh with this man. I feel he's got a good sense of humor, but as he comes in with these teeth, I also see a glass with water in it. So I don't know if he put these teeth in the glass as well, whether it was next to the bed or whatever, but it looks like a glass of water. But with this these set of false teeth, the teeth are actually missing as well. So I don't know whether he needed to get some new teeth or they broke, but he just liked them. I don't know, but that seems a bit it's a funny story going on there as well.
Yeah, we got two people that are still taking this, mate. I want to kind of hone this and be specific. I'm sorry, Joe. The name Michael was really specific that he gave me, and I can feel that in my heart. I can feel the love for Michael. So if you understand that, Leah, and we would love you to come in as well, so we can give you a more in-depth reading. That would be lovely. A connection with this gentleman. I do. I'm trying not to, because I know Leah a little bit, and I know Joe a little bit, and I don't want it to kind of. So I'm going to ask him for information that I don't already know, if this is the gentleman who I think he is. because he's coming a different way. Okay, no, Michael. Thank you, Joe. But yeah, thank you. My sister used, and I was a teething. Okay. we hear all sorts on here. We love it. Okay. Okay. So there's also a thing about swimming here, and I'm not sure which of the grandchildren he's talking about. There's a real thing about sink or swim. A real thing about talking about sinking or swimming, throwing him in the water in the deep end and sinking or swimming. Okay, Rhonda, no, Michael. Yeah, I do feel that I'm more, my gut feeling, I don't know how you feel, Anthony. I am leaning more towards Leanne.
Yeah.
Leanne, it'd be lovely if you could come in the studio. She's thinking about it.
We'll get one in the studio today.
Yeah. We've got a Jill here, but I don't know if this is for Jill.
Jill just Leanne.
I'm drawn to Leanne as well. Can you drop in, Leanne? Can you hear me? I believe we haven't lost the signal. I really want to bring this gentleman's love through, and I know there's two gentlemen that come in as well. This is why I feel like I'm more with you, Leanne. Can you send me the link as I'm on my phone? Yes, of course. You mean by email, or because it should just be in the messenger? Guys, can we reshare the link again? I'm not sure why it's not pinned at the top. Oh, here we go. I don't know if you can press that, Leanne, and it should be able to come in. I do feel with this gentleman, there's another gentleman that comes in with him. And I feel they're interconnected, which is why I feel like I'm more connected to you, Leanne. Can't get on it. Okay, don't worry. We'll just keep going. If you can just give us feedback, we'd love that. Over to you, Max. We've literally just got 2 minutes left.
Okay, so yeah, still feel this gentleman in. I've got a lady with him as well coming in as well. I do feel that she's a little bit in his shadow. I'm sure she doesn't mind me saying that. I do feel he's quite a character, this man, and I do feel his home meant the world to him as well. Yes, he's a sweet tooth, all right, but I do feel he's that's something that he's definitely into. But of course, I'm getting drawn to him, the person, the man as well. I do feel that, you know, his family and his house. I'm really drawn to his home, and I do feel the kitchen's at the back of the house. I do feel everything has to be just how he wants things to be as well. Quite an old school man. When I say old school mentality as well, where things have to be just so. He's showing me about ironing as well with this man. I don't know whether this is he likes his shirts ironed in a certain way or on a certain day, because I feel he's quite particular as well. But he is also making me aware of one eye of his as well. So I don't know whether his vision was worse in one eye than the other. I can definitely understand that. But also as he comes in, I'm also feeling an operation around him as well, whether this was some kind of glaucoma or something to do with a cataract or that kind of situation as well with this man as well, because I feel it's cloudy in one eye as well. Yeah, real man's man. I feel he's a hard worker as well. And I'm just really drawn to the outside with this man as well, whether he was like tinkering outside as well, because he's taking me down the back garden as well. He wants to give me a tour of the outside. I feel he was a deep thinker, this man as well. I do feel he was in his head a lot of the time. And if he did worry about anything, he would keep he's not diabetic. Okay, that's why he's probably sugar. Okay, and also I just feel that he used to keep himself to himself, quite a deep thinking man, and if he did worry at all, not many people would know about it because he would keep it to himself. And also I do feel there's a certain part of the room where he's even now in literally around the house as well. And I do feel, Leanne, that he's around you quite a lot. Whether you pick up on him as well, and it's interesting, a question that you mentioned earlier, like someone seeing someone out the corner of their eye as a question to Sam today. And I do feel that you feel him and you see something out the corner of your eye as well, Leanne, and definitely he's around you as well. Yeah. Can you also understand this man wearing braces at one point, Leanne? Because I'm seeing braces going over his shoulders, clipping onto his trousers here as well. And I just feel he's a very loyal man as well. and very strong-minded. He definitely can pack a punch and he's quite stubborn. He's telling me as well. He definitely can pack a punch if he didn't like something.
Yeah,
he'd put you in your place. So yeah,
mate, awesome, well done. Last couple of things I want to say, because we literally have run out of time, and I can't believe this, but I know you've just moved, but he's also given me something about a piece of driftwood. I'm not sure whether he used to create stuff with the wood, but there's a piece of driftwood and I want to put a house on it. I do want to, the way he's making me feel like I want to name the house, but because I know you moved, I kind of got into my head a little bit, but I kind of want to put a name to this house and change it. I want to change what's there at the moment. So I hope you can understand that. I want to leave you all the love in the world from this gentleman, because I know he's not been passed over very long. And I kind of don't want to go too much into that right now, but I feel you know this gentleman. He's definitely a father figure. And there's two there, actually, two father figures there. Yes, the house name has a name. But would you understand changing that name, though, and making it yours? Because there's a real thing here, like almost like it's a project. And I know you told me you've got an outbuilding. So whether that piece of driftwood is going to go on this outbuilding, I don't know. But there's a special name that he wants to give that. There's also a connection with a unicorn. Would you understand the connection with the unicorn that he's trying to give me? But I feel this is more around a granddaughter. Okay, this is more around a granddaughter. But I could be here all night with this gentleman. They're absolutely lovely. So I want to leave their love with you, and everybody that had a message from Sam and from us. Thank you for joining tonight, and thanks to Samantha. It's been absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, thank you, Samantha, for sharing your stuff.
What time is it there now?
4 o'clock.
Is it back to bed, or is it going to be early breakfast?
Oh no, back to bed.
No chance of a morning jog then?
Oh no, not yet. It's too dark and cold.
Well, we can't thank you enough for agreeing to come on. It's been absolutely awesome.
Thanks for sharing your time.
Yeah. So, we forgot about the competition, mate. Whose turn is it, by the way?
Mine this week.
Oh, Sam, can you pick a name from the comments? Because we do a free giveaway for someone.
Really go through the list for us, Sam. Really go with your intuition.
The comments.
Yeah,
go through all those lists tonight.
Let's just see. Mark Norman.
Well done.
Congratulations, Mark. Give us an inbox message, Mark, and then we can connect together.
Yeah. Okay. So, guys, it's time to say goodbye. Thank you ever so much again, Samantha. And, mate, this time next week, England could be in the, 16th? Is it last 16? Who knows?
Fingers crossed, mate. Fingers crossed.
Well done to Wales, but it is time. I'm going to stop talking football. It's time to go. Thanks, Sam.
Thanks, Sam.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, everyone. See you next week.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.